Now that we've prepared the soldering pads, we can start soldering. And we do that by placing the soldering tip on the soldering pad for a while. If we have a look at the soldering flux, at the liquid, it will change a little bit once the temperature is high enough. And at that point, you just carefully add the soldering wire, and you can see that the solder nicely flows over the soldering pad and embeds the strain gauge lead wire, which is what you want to achieve. You then do that for all the other remaining soldering pads until you've covered all of them. Done. Once that's achieved, you can cut the superfluous bits of the strain gauge lead wires so that they don't get connected with the bar. And remove them. Done. Now you can attach the strain gauge cable temporarily to the bar and start soldering it to the soldering pads, following the method outlined in the procedure. So in this case, we start with a green wire and simply place it on top of the respective soldering pad. Apply a little bit of pressure, add the soldering tip. The wire easily embeds within the amount of soldering on the pad right now. Then you proceed doing that for all the remaining wires. That's it. Now you can proceed with the short black wires. The same way you did before. Finishing off the last connection to make. That's it. Done. Soldering finished. Now we have to check whether all the connections are correct and working. So, as I said, we quickly check through whether we've done well, and if everything turns out correct, we are ready to tackle the final step. Now that we've finished the soldering and we have also measured and know the position of the strain gauge with respect to the end of the bar, we can start protecting the strain gauge station. We do that by adding some tape. Simply, we roll it up, covering the strain gauge station. And the lead wires always applying sufficient amount of tension to the tape. The aim here is to prevent any movement of the soldering wires when the bar is impacted, and lead the wires and position them so that no bend is induced and that they do not break during impact. So for this reason I can now remove the temporary tape that I used to fix the cable into place in the beginning. And start placing everything in the final position. So in this case, position the cable here between two soldering pads. Introduce a bend into the cable. And continue fixing it to the bar. That's it. And the strain gauge station is done and completed.